Okay, today we are in our Lexus RX450 and we'll be showing you how to install ProClip item number 834710 found at ProClipUSA.com. A couple things we want to mention before we get started is, first of all, read over all the instructions that come with it to become a little bit familiar with the process. Second thing is, always attach the vehicle mount onto the vehicle prior to attaching anything onto the faceplate of the ProClip vehicle mount. Third thing we want to mention is this particular ProClip comes with double-sided tape. That's the yellow areas here. You'll need to remove the yellow strips from the tape. The residue from the tape does not stay onto the vehicle if you ever want to remove the ProClip later on. And with that said, we'll get started. The ProClip comes with two gap openers. The first gap opener to get started with, there's a seam in the top part of the console, and there's a plastic piece here on the Lexus. You'll slide the gap opener into the seam at the location we're showing here. Now, the top part of the ProClip vehicle mount has an angled edge. It's a good size edge. That edge will need to go into the seam that has just been opened. You slide it in like that. It'll go in nice and easily. Remove the gap opener. The second part of the install, we'll take a little lower area. There's a seam underneath the console, and there's two gap openers that come with this. You'll start with the first gap opener on the corner, the far left corner of the seam. If you'll feel underneath here, once you become familiar with it, there is a seam. It's a very, very tight seam, and that's why we provide two gap openers, because you'll need to take each gap opener, starting with the left, sliding it into the seam as far as it can go, then take the next gap opener and slide it to the right of it into the seam, and stagger the two gap openers until you can get it close to the bottom part of the ProClip vehicle mount. What you'll want to do is the two gap openers, try to arrange them or align them so there's one on the right and one on the left side of the ProClip, bottom of the ProClip mount, and that'll give you a nice open seam underneath. Now, what we're going to do is press the ProClip mount down and in at the same time, and you're going to listen for a click, and that click is the bottom lower angled edge of the ProClip going into the seam. That's the click you're listening for. You'll remove the gap openers, and you'll have a nice solid ProClip vehicle mount that you can attach any type of ProClip device holder onto.